The next area we want to talk about was more, I guess in the context of the online learning and some of the stuff we were just talking about. So as the world has shifted more towards online learning, both in our space, in the traditional education space, and in K through 12. But in terms of in our space, has the demand increased or decreased with remote versus in person? And do you think that the decisions to move to in person or stay remote will impact access and equity? Oh, and that was something I was going to ask Carlos, but he seems to be.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Do you want me to give it a
Yeah,
go and
why
while we
don't
wait
you
for
start with
Carlos?
that? Yeah, so just how has how
Yeah.
has demand shifted given all the changes?
Yeah. So just speaking on behalf of New Camp, we actually had before the pandemic a model that had our students learn online during the week, but then in person on Saturday mornings for 4 hours. And the intention was based on the real belief, and I'll go very quick because I think Carlos is coming back. We had a real belief that in-person was very powerful, that you wanted students to get to know one another, get to know their instructors, and that will really solidify their commitment to learning.
Yeah,
We would like to go back to that
right.
because I think that's still something that's still needed. But of course, now it's way more challenging to provide. So I'll just leave it at that and let Carlos pretty much answer the question.
Yeah.
Our company tripled during the pandemic. And this is a couple of things I want to believe we did well, but also there were some macro trends that supported online learning in general. And in particular, the need for more businesses to start offering their products or services online, which means that
Yes.
there's a higher need for product managers. We also see more and more companies working remotely and feeling comfortable and showing that it is a good way of also working and showing results. So from the diversity standpoint, what that means for us is that, well, first, there's more access to opportunity for people from all over the world. Because one thing that I mentioned at the beginning makes us unique is that all of our instructors are not teachers. They are active product managers working at really cool companies in Google, Airbnb, Netflix, and so on. The reality is that most of those product leaders are still based in Silicon Valley or in New York. However, the students can be anywhere and they can still have access to the same level of quality as, regardless of where they want to live. And that's something that I personally struggle with. And as an immigrant from Spain, I didn't have the role models that I wanted to have when I was thinking about technology or business. And I believe that's really powerful because that levels up the playing field. Now we're at a point where if companies feel more comfortable hiring remotely, and we are saying that the credential is not the only thing that they need to look at. Well, if companies know that people that go through our program, they are able to build something that is meaningful, then they can offer these job opportunities to those students independently of where they live. And we are seeing that spike in job opportunities, especially in Europe, Southeast Asia, and in Latin America.
Wow, that's so interesting. And was your program is there any in-person nature to your program now, or are you fully remote?
We are 100% online,
Okay.
live online. So
Oh, online,
all the
yes.
trainings happen like what we are, like this conversation that we are having. Funny thing is that we did all of this way before the pandemic. So Product School started as an offline business. At some point, we had 16 physical campuses, most of them in the US, and then we had a few in Europe. And we realized that online was taking over to a point where, when the pandemic hit, I think at that point we had only 5 physical locations, and online was the biggest and also like the highest rating campus based on student feedback. One stat we got and what helped us kind of pull the plug and really focus on online was that 30% of our online students were living in locations that had a Product School campus. So they were intentionally choosing to learn online just because it was more convenient for them. We all have live work and different things, and we've been able to prove that online is not a subversion of offline.
Right.